Oil and gas is a game changer. And in April of 2010, the massive Deepwater Horizon spill was in the headlines here for months. It also threatened Cuba. It wasn't something we really read much about, but Cuban environmental officials contacted me and my colleagues pretty early on and said, can you send us information as much as you have on everything you have, because we can't get information officially yet from the State Department. Now eventually that changed. There was some exchange of scientific information, modeling, etc. But most of the information in the early weeks came from NGOs like Environmental Defense, directly to Cuban colleagues. And the Cuban task force that was following the oil spill did a bang-up job of predicting the pattern of the oil spill, and they dodged a bullet. The loop current changed, and fortunately Cuba was not affected. But as everyone in this room knows, Cuba was on the verge of beginning oil drilling in its own waters, much closer to Florida than the Deepwater Horizon. And when they were moving forward with those plans, several of us, Wayne and I and others, talked to the State Department and said, what's the plan? And there wasn't one. And so mostly the only real audience that we got was the media, showing how connected we are. The media did a great job in Florida in talking about Cuba's efforts and talking about the need to begin a dialogue on how we would work together if there's a spill in Cuba. Bill Riley, William Riley, the former EPA chief under Bush 1, who was also president of World Wildlife Fund, he and Bob Graham from Florida were chosen by President Obama to run the Oil Spill Commission, and they came out with a report in January of 2011, this thick report, and on page 300, I think, they said we need to work with Cuba. Cuba's on the verge of exploring for oil. It's time to work together. And I saw that. I saw Bill speak at Duke University, and I went up to him afterwards and I said, have you been to Cuba? And he said, no, the State Department doesn't want to let me go. But I'd love to go. And he said, my government term expires in March, maybe we can go then. And so we had lunch. I invited him to lunch in my office in DC with the Cuban ambassador, Bolaños, at the time. And Bolaños extended the invitation to Bill Riley. We organized the trip for September 2011. Governor Graham called me 3 weeks before the trip and asked if he could join us, which was a big surprise to me. This goes to the issue of Congresswoman Castor, former governor and senator of Florida wanting to come to Cuba to engage. And Bob Graham told me at the time, he said, we've got to work together, and I'd like to be part of that. Now, for other reasons, Senator Graham could not make the trip, but he continues to be outspoken on the need to work together. Well before BP, Senator Martinez, before he retired, said the environment is the one area that we have to work together with Cuba on. So I think Florida's changing since we've been promoting oil and gas dialogue. I have it on good authority that all of the delegation, all of them, every single one of them in South Florida supports the U.S. being prepared in case of a Cuban oil spill. And they understand that that requires that the Coast Guard of the U.S. talk to the Coast Guard of Cuba. And the South Florida delegation does not want the U.S. to assist Cuba in production, but they understand that the rigs are already there. There's a rig right now near Sabana Camagüey, which is a beautiful archipelago east of Havana.